Well, it's the day to change the universal joints. I'd been hearing it squeak. You know you need to change your universal joint when you hear like backing up, going forward, it goes like, and then the faster you go, you know your universal joint's going. Well, look, about fell off my bucket over here. This one here is completely shot. This side here ain't just too terribly bad, but it looks like some of the pins have flattened some in there. Whoever it was who had the truck before me didn't grease them. I didn't grease them. I heard it squeaking. I just pushed my luck. I mean, I didn't drive it but 100 miles or so. Well, I think it was about 100 or so home, and then I don't know, I drove it another couple hundred around here. But anyways, that son of a gun's on there to get them out. But the back dry shaft, both of these need to be replaced. This one's got a two-piece, you know, it runs halfway, then it's got that bearing up there holding it, and then it flexes from there down to your rear, which helps, I guess. I don't know, but that universal joint up there is good. Somebody greased it, or maybe all the oil leaking out the transmission. I mean, it don't leak bad out transmission, but it looks like oil or something's leaked on it. It don't seem bad. These have to be replaced. The other one just disintegrated. Whenever I pulled it off, it fell apart. It wasn't nothing but rust. The cap and everything fell all apart. It was about to come out the truck, but now you just have to take and whoop on this son of a gun. I got my little electric hammer over here. I don't have an air hammer, but I'm fixing to whoop on it. I'll be back whenever I get it out. All right, I'm back. I got it out. I used the air hammer and softened it up some. A lot of times it'll do it. Put you some penetrating oil on it. What you do is you take and stand it up. The best thing to use, you can use a punch or something, but to me it don't work as good. Get you like this is a 3/4 inch impact socket. Buy you some cheap ones from Harbor Freight or something like that. I use them, but then if I mess them up, who cares? They're not that expensive. Put it on there and let it sit, which it ain't gonna sit because it ain't nothing in it, but just put it on there and let it sit and beat the ever living crap out of it. And you'll have to beat it and get this one out, turn it over, and then what I do is I whoop on that and whoop on them two sides until I get it out. Now putting it in is gonna be just as hard. It sucks, but and whenever it comes out, it'll be in there like that, and it's you gotta wiggle it around to get it out. There ain't a whole lot of room, but yeah, it had just gone bad. These bearings look pretty good, but that one had went bad, so might as well change them. There, it's like $35 for a U-joint at the parts house, so I'm sure you can get them online cheaper, but yeah, just change them out. I'll be back in a minute. Yeah, for this 2001 GMC, it takes a Precision 232 U-joint, 3 of them. You got one there, one on that end, then one up there. You can change them all, change one, however many you want, but remember this: if you change one, unless one of them seems newer than the other, they all three probably need to be changed because they got just as many miles. They're sitting there spinning every time, and if that one goes bad, the others probably will, because they probably wouldn't greased or whatever either. So I make it a habit to change everything and just be done with it. That way you don't break down. And U-joints is a thing. If a vehicle's got over 200,000 miles on it, you might as well get ready to change them, because most people don't grease them or anything enough, and they'll put them in, grease them, go on about life. You know, they don't ever grease them again. They just sling it out. They get hot and wear out and all that, so keep that in mind. But I'll be back when I get it put in. I'm back. Well, the 232 or whatever it was that I told you, another one, it was wrong. It's a 330. Whenever I went to put it in, always pick them up and make for sure that they look the same and everything, and then check your caps. You know, take your new one and your old one, make sure they look the same and all. cause if not, they won't work. The other one was too short, it wouldn't, but about to right there, so it won't work, of course. But any which way, I'm gonna get it put in, and I'll be back. When you go to put them back in, make sure like you put this top, slide it in, and it ain't gonna just fall in, but shove this up into the hole, and then you can take a hammer and tap it down until it gets to there. And once you get it to there and it's close, all you got to do is put your snap ring in, put that socket on top of your snap ring and tap it, and it'll pop down in the groove. But make sure your socket's the right size of your snap ring and don't break nothing. Well, I didn't finish the video the other night putting the U-joints in. It was like 9:30 and all, so. But when you put it in, on that truck, I gotta get a swing bearing too, because it looks like crap, but I didn't get it and I had to use the truck. So I'll just put it back in. I'm gonna get one, but you're gonna put the front drive shaft back in the transmission, and that's easy. It'll go in any which way. But then the splines behind your swing bearing, there's on that 2001 GMC, there's one that's, or it's like two, and they have to line up. If you look at the inside of your rear drive shaft, it'll have a notch cut out. Make sure you line them up, and make sure you put blocks in front of your tires and all also, because when you pull the drive shaft out, it's going to roll on you if it's crooked. But you also need some parking blocks. You know what I'm talking about. I use 4x6s, but they make parking things, because you're gonna have to get underneath there to line your drive shaft up with your rear end, and put it in neutral, put your truck in neutral, and you can twist your drive shaft. Again, make sure you're on level ground and you got it scotch blocked, whatever you want to call it, because put your park brake on, you know, make sure, because it's your life underneath there. If that truck runs over you, you're either hurt or dead. But be very safe with that. That's the only thing I can really tell you on that part. But yeah, it went in real good. You know, after you do your first universal joint's the hardest, but then after that it gets easier and easier. Like the third one I put in, it didn't take no time. Make sure you grease them when you put your universal joint back in, and like put it in your drive shaft. Make sure all four sides are, because if you try to grease it with two sides open, it's gonna pop the caps off. Grease it, and then run it down the road. I don't know, drive a few miles or something, come back and shoot another pump of grease. Whenever I say grease it, just put a pump of grease in it. You don't want to put 10-20 pumps or nothing, but put like a pump in there, and then come back, and I always put another pump. Make sure everything's lined up, don't nothing wobble, give you no death shake. Make sure your drive shafts you know, balanced and all that. Make sure somebody hadn't done something to it to, you know, if you get it out of alignment or whatever. But it all should be in line because of the 2-notch deal. Do that, you should be good. Every time you change your oil, grease your drive shaft. Just give each one of them, each of your universal joints, a pump of grease. You'll be good. It'll last a long time. Not greasing, you'll have trouble. If you leave a vehicle parked for a long period of time, make sure it don't have no mud, water, sand all in it, or it'll freeze up too. But parking for a year or two is you're gonna have to work on some stuff there. Usually you'll have to change the brakes, the ball joints, like the universal joints, because all that stuff will freeze up and stick. If you do gonna drive it and you know it's been sitting up, make sure you grease all that stuff. It may help you, but chances are you're gonna have to change them because they're used to being fluid. Make sure you use good grease too, some red and tacky or something other like that, you know, good grease, because this is your drive chain. It goes out, sorry, you're not going nowhere. Well, if you got 4-wheel drive, you can put it in 4-wheel drive. But did that. I'm probably going to change the rear end oil in it, and I'll make a video on that. And transfer case, transmission fluid, all that. I already changed transmission filter when I did the oil change, air filter. I do all that when I do it, but it's got an external transmission filter. But I think I'm going to change the transmission fluid in it. It looks good, but it is a little colored, so that's just good. And I don't know when it was changed last. You're supposed to change your transmission fluid
you need to change all your fluids every 50,000 miles. I'm gonna check some more bearings and all, like my idler pulley and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I was gonna give a little update. I thought about it this morning. I finished the video, and I'm gonna put this one together probably this afternoon after church, and we'll post it then. But like and subscribe. I'll bring some more content on working on old trucks. I gotta put I may try to rebuild the cylinder on the backhoe too. The swing boom blew out. It's big. It's like a 3-inch, so it'll be fun. I may try to make a video about it the next week or two, because I gotta get it going because I gotta go do a job. But anyways, that's some stuff to look forward to. Y'all have a good one.